The fat ass 45 tax records show that he's carrying $421 million in loans and debt. Fat ass 45's tax returns show he is carrying a total of $421 million in loans and debt, with the number of his properties said to be struggling financially. In a Sunday report dismissed by the fat ass as fake news, which it wasn't, the New York Times said that most of that debt comes from the Doral Golf Resort in Florida, which is $125 million. Fat ass 45's Washington Hotel, $160 million. On top of that, $100 million mortgage on Fat ass 45 Tower in New York will come due in 2022. Fat ass 45 had paid only just $750 in federal income taxes in both 2016 and 17 after years of reporting heavy losses from his business enterprises to offset hundreds of millions of dollars in income, the Times reported, citing tax return data. The Republican found multiple ways to reduce his tax bills, taking tax deductions on personal expenses, such as housing, aircraft, and basically $70,000 to style his fake hair while he filmed The Apprentice show. A nearly $100,000 payment to his daughter, wife Ivanka's favorite hair and makeup stylist, was also listed as a business expense, which it wasn't. The report also suggests consultant fees were given to the fat ass's eldest daughter, which appear to have helped lower the family's tax bill. Fat ass 45 has fiercely guarded his tax filings and is the only squatter in modern times to not make them public. He paid no federal income taxes in 10 of the last 15 years alone, through 2017, despite receiving $427 million through 2018 from his reality television program and other endorsement and licensing deals. Losses in the property business solely owned and managed by Fat Ass 45 appear to have offset income from a stake in The Apprentice and other entities with multiple owners. A lawyer for the Fat Ass 45 organization, Alan Garton, told the Times that most, if not all, of the facts appear to be inaccurate, which, no, they're not. He said in a statement to the news organization that the Fat Ass has paid tens of millions of dollars in personal taxes. Yeah, bullshit. And to the federal government, including paying millions in personal taxes since announcing his fake presidency in 2015. No, he didn't. The details of the tax filings complicate Fat Ass 45's description of himself as a shrewd and patriotic businessman, revealing instead a series of financial losses and income from abroad that could come into conflict with his responsibilities as a fat ass. Fat Ass 45's financial disclosures indicated he earned at least $434.9 million in 2018, but the tax filings reported that a 47.4 million dollar loss. The disclosure, which the Times said comes from tax return data it obtained extending over 10 years, comes at a pivotal moment ahead of the first debate Tuesday and weeks before a divisive election against Democratic Joe Biden. The Times emphasized the documents reveal only what Fat Ass 45 told the government about his businesses, and he did not disclose his true wealth. It did not have information about his personal returns for 2018 or 19, probably because he didn't file for those 2 years. Fat Ass 45 has frequently pointed to his far-flung hotels, golf courses, and resorts as evidence of his success as a developer and businessman, which he's not. But yet these properties have been draining money. The Times reported that Fat Ass 45 has claimed $315 million in losses since 2000 on his golf courses, including the Fat Ass 45 National Doral near Miami, which Fat Ass 45 has portrayed as a crown jewel in his business empire. Likewise, his Fat Ass 45 International Hotel in Washington has lost $55 million, the Times reported. Since 2015, his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida has taken in $5 million more a year from a surge in membership. The Billy Graham Evangelistic Association spent at least $397,602 in 2017 at Fat Ass 45's Washington Hotel. The overseas projects have produced millions more for Fat Ass 45. $3 million from the money from the Philippines, $2.3 million from India, and $1 million from Turkey. Speaking at a news conference Sunday at the White House, Fat Ass 45 dismissed the report as fake news, which it's not, and maintained he has paid taxes, though he gave no specific. That's because he hasn't. The reason why he didn't give any specifics is because he hasn't paid taxes. He also vowed that information about his taxes will all be revealed, but he offered no timeline for the disclosure and made similar promises back to what he said in 2016, on which he never followed through. In fact, the Fat Ass has fielded court challenges against those seeking to access his returns, including the U.S. House, which is suing to get Fat Ass 45's tax returns as part of congressional oversight. He is currently in a legal battle with New York City prosecutors and congressional Democrats who are seeking to obtain his returns. During his first 2 years as a squatter, Fat Ass 45 received $73 million from foreign operations, which, in addition to his golf properties in Scotland and Ireland, included $3 million from the Philippines, $2.3 million from India, and $1 million from Turkey, among other nations. The Fat Ass in 2017 paid only $145,000 in taxes. in India and 156,000 in the Philippines compared to just 750 in the U.S. income. The Times said that the tax records did not reveal any unreported connections to Russia. During the first 2 years of his failed squad-in-chief, Badass 45 relied on business tax credits to reduce his tax obligations. The Times said 9.7 million worth of business investment and credits that were submitted after Badass 45 requested an extension to file his taxes allowed him to offset his obligations and pay just only $750 each in 2016 and 17. Income tax payments helped finance their military and domestic programs. Badass 45 started in 2010, claimed and received an income tax refund that totaled $72.9 million, which the Times said was the core of an ongoing audit by the IRS. The Times said that a ruling against Badass 45 could cost him $100 million or more. Richard Neal, who's a Democrat for Massachusetts, had said that the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, who has tried unsuccessfully to obtain Badass 45's tax records, said that the Times reports make it even more essential for his committee to get the documents. It appears that the Badass has gamed the tax code to his advantage and used legal fights to delay or avoid paying what he owes, Neal wrote in a statement. Now Badass 45 is the boss of the agency he considers an adversary. It is essential that the IRS's presidential audit program remain free of interference. The New York Times said it declined to provide Garton with the tax filings in order to protect its sources, but it said its sources had legal access to the records. During his first general election debate against Democrat Hillary Clinton back in 2016, Clinton said that perhaps Badass 45 wasn't releasing his tax returns because he had paid nothing in federal taxes, Badass 45 interrupted her to say, "That makes me smart." No, it doesn't. The newspaper said that Badass 45 initially paid $95 million in taxes over the 18 years it studied, but he managed to recover most of that money by claiming and receiving a stunning $72.9 million in federal tax refund. According to the Times, Badass 45 also pocketed $21.2 million in state and local refunds, which are typically based on federal filings. Badass 45's outsized refund became the subject of a now long-standing Internal Revenue Service audit of his finances. The audit was widely known. Badass 45 has claimed it was the very reason why he cannot release his tax returns. Bullshit, you can still release your tax returns under audit. But the Times report is the first to identify that the issue that was mainly in dispute. As a result of the refund, Badass 45 paid an average of $1.4 million in federal taxes from 2000 to 2017. The Times reported, by contrast, that the average U.S. taxpayer in the top 1% of earners paid about $25 million annually over the same time frame. From his homes, his aircraft, and $70,000 on his fake hair during his television show The Apprentice, Badass 45 has capitalized on costs incurred from his businesses to financing a luxurious lifestyle. The Times noted that Badass 45's homes, plans, and golf courses are part of the Badass 45's family business, and as such, Badass 45 classified them as business expenses as well, which they're not, because companies can write off business expenses such as deductions. All such expenses have helped reduce Badass 45's tax liability. The fat ass has frequently pointed to his far-flung hotels, golf courses, and resorts as evidence of his success as a developer and businessman, which he's not. Yet these properties have been draining money. The Times reported that Fat Ass has claimed $315 million in losses since 2000 on his golf courses, including the Fat Ass 45 National Doral near Miami, which Fat Ass has portrayed as a crown jewel in his business empire. Likewise, like it stated, his Fat Ass 45 International Hotel in Washington has lost $55 million. Since Badass 45 began his failed Squadron C run, since his Squadron C run, and it was a failure, and it's been a failure. Lobbyists, foreign governments, and politicians have lavished significant sums of money on his properties, and which is basically a spending spree that raised questions about its propriety and legality. The Times report illustrates just how much that spending has been since 2015. His Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida has taken in $5 million more a year from a surge in membership. The Billy Graham Evangelistic Host Association has spent at least $397,602 in 2017. And then it's given off all this other stuff. But Fat Ass 45 seems sure to face heavy financial pressures from the Norris Powell of debt that he has absorbed. The Times said that the Fat Ass appears to be responsible for $421 million in loans, most of which will come due within the next 3.5 to 4 years. On top of that, $100 million mortgage on Fat Ass 45 Tower in New York will come due in 2022. Yep, so he's gonna be owing a lot of fucking money. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Random Mike, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.